Welcome back, guys. Let's go quickly check out the wrap-up of our interview with Mr. James White. But how did that go, and what were your inspirations other than perhaps the obvious, 80s flicks?
Well, yeah, a big inspiration, like in terms of the composition of the poster, was like Drew Struzan. He's my favorite movie poster artist from back in the 80s. Like he did Back to the Future, all the Indiana Jones stuff. You've definitely seen his painted work. So the composition was definitely him. But the first conversation I had with Dean on the phone, he was basically like, do your thing. He said, like for the logo, he said, you do that chrome and pink thing that you do. Like that. I was like, awesome, man, it's done. So that was cool to get that kind of a direction. But in terms of the actual like character design and stuff, like that was all comps that they sent me of their internal character designs. But here's the thing about Dean is that you look at those things and you can see those references. Like he wears his inspirations on his sleeve in terms of design. So that's why you look at Rex Power Colt, the main character. He has Terminator's eye.
Yep.
And I didn't even notice this, but he actually has RoboCop's gun.
Oh, does he really?
If you look at the poster.
I didn't look closely enough for that, but now that you think about it, the pistol, it's that long barrel.
Yeah,
Soviet.
Exactly. And you shoot it, it's a machine gun and whatever else, and he has like Terminator's arm and everything else.
That's fantastic.
And it's great when the opening to the game is a music track that's from Predator. You're in the helicopter, you have the Gatling gun, and you hear the song they were playing in the helicopter in Predator.
That's so good.
It's great. Like, and I love, like, I'm all about referencing, direct referencing, like not even trying to hide it. So like, I love when they do the
you in
high
the face
five.
with it.
Yeah.
Oh, the Arnold like high five thing. Oh, that's amazing. And biceps like blow up.
I love it. Like
that's
that, and
fantastic.
it's just like that. I see that, and that's Dean through and through. So
absolutely.
Taking stuff that was actual like reference from back in the day, and then putting them into the poster and putting them into the design was like awesome. I mean, the chrome effect on the Far Cry 3 in the logo, I think, was taken directly from the Judas Priest logo from back in the 80s.
Totally.
Killer.
Almost looks like that, or like a Metallica kind of
exactly.
kind of cover.
Ride the Lightning sort of thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's like taken directly from that stuff. I think even like the brush script was kind of like Dirty Dancing or something influence. It was like the weirdest.
Yeah, it's that red streak through it kind of deal from Dirty Dancing. It's like every popular 80s flick crammed into one, and then just like hyperbole through the ceiling. Just made it hyperbolic as all heck.
And he tried, and he let me do that, and he pushed me and said, like, do your thing, kind of thing. Just keep doing it, build that atmosphere, do that thing you want to do. And so we had a couple of like speed bumps in terms of like having to put more characters in and that kind of thing. And but that comes with the territory of just figuring out the aesthetic of a poster and the composition and just moving things around and putting the atmosphere in. Like I would throw in like a helicopter in the background and that kind of stuff. And Dean gets a hold of me one day and he goes, like, this is the greatest thing about working with Dean is that he got a hold of me one day and he goes, listen, we got a big change. There's something we have to include in here. And I'm like, okay, what's that? And he said, in the background of the poster, we're gonna put a giant dinosaur shooting lasers out of his eyes. And I'm like, yeah! Like, 20 seconds, I had that thing in there. It's like, that's
a great phone call to get in the morning. Like, you're thinking, what kind of boring thing am I gonna have to put in here? And then somebody tells you a dinosaur with laser beams out of their eyes, and you say, all right, you know what? I'm not going to complain about that. That's okay. That's fantastic. No, the whole concept was absolutely phenomenal, and you did such a great job with it. I have to wrap up with the same the same two generic questions that everybody in this kind of like thing has to get, and that is for people who are looking to maybe do what you do, and there's an increasing number of people that are trying to do with the deviant art and stuff is really popular with people trying to start their careers up, and even Tumblr kind of now is getting into that kind of thing. What do you suggest for people to do if they're looking to do what you do? How do you think that, or how would you suggest they get themselves out there to start?
I would say like the two pieces of advice probably that I can give is number one, like you mentioned, like the Tumblrs and the Twitters and whatever else. Pick a couple of social media outlets, a couple of portfolio platforms that you want to use. You don't need them all, so pick Twitter, and like personally, I use Twitter. I use something called Cargo for my portfolio and a WordPress blog. I have a Facebook, but those are the three core that I use. Get those things set up. Most of them are free, if not all of them these days. And then once you have that set up, the second piece of advice is never stop making stuff. just do it as much as you can. You know, like don't only put client work on there. If you want to design a set of sneakers for Nike, it's like just do it. You know, design that CD cover.
No pun intended.
Yeah, I didn't even notice I did that. We can get some sweet Nike dollars. All right,
that was so good. That couldn't have possibly gone any better.
I gotta remember
should
that
make something for Nike. Just do it.
I've said that so many times on stage. I never caught that joke.
Well, hey. Now now we might have screwed it up for you now, because now every time you say it, you're gonna have an internal monologue that says, "Do I really want to say this right now?" Because everybody's gonna be thinking the same thing that I am. That's great. Continue.
But that's it. And just do as much as you can. Do as much work as you can. You know, machine gun out everything. Like, don't do one thing a month. You know, I go to a lot of people's portfolios, and you see like a smattering of things they did over the past 2 years.
Right.
It's like, do multiple things a week, you know, try to do one thing a week to start, and then just keep doing it, and try to chase not the projects that cater to clients or cater to trends. Do the stuff that you want to do, you know, and that's the best advice I can give to people, is just set up your media platform and just do it for the love of creating, and do it a lot.
And what's the connection like for getting jobs to begin with? Because I know sometimes you get lucky and you'll know somebody, or somebody will just stumble across your work on a WordPress blog or anything like that, and just say, we could totally use this person because they're what we're looking for. But if that's not the case, what would you suggest people to do to try and get your foot in the door?
Yeah, that's hard. Like, I would always say start locally. Actually go in and introduce yourself to people, go to networking events and that kind of stuff. I wish there was like a cold cut answer, but there's really no secret ingredient to this industry. It's just sort of set yourself up and get your work out there, you know. And for me personally, okay, I'll relate this to like a personal story. When I set up, like, Signal Noise kind of laid dormant my studio for like 10 years. It was just a website. And it wasn't until I stopped catering to people and I set up a WordPress blog, and I started just uploading my work. And it basically snowballed after that. It was the first month I had 100 visitors, and then the second month I had 200, and then 500, and then 800. And then eventually I was breaching, like, you know, 20,000 visits a month or a week or whatever it was, and it started small and just kept getting bigger. So I think the key with getting jobs is just be ready. You know, have your portfolio up, make it kick ass, you know, and just keep your content fresh. That'll keep people coming back. And
eventually, with all the stars and moons aligned, you too can make a video game poster thing that will ring true throughout all the ages. But by the time that happens, you'll probably be doing like a 90s ripoff, and it's going to be like a Mrs. Doubtfire like thing on it or something, and it's going to be some dude dressed up as an old lady dancing with a vacuum cleaner.
That's a great idea. Really, they should write that down.
Somebody should do that. That's like a Grand Theft Auto 5 ripoff, where just the cover, it's the dude with a vacuum cleaner dressed as a lady, and I think that would be fantastic.
And then send it to the show.
Exactly. We'll put it up on our Facebook so that all 14 people can see it. It'll be amazing. Last question, sir. You've already mentioned the name of your website and stuff, but give us the full shebang. Where can everybody find you, follow you on all of your social media? You said you only have 2.
Yeah, that's true.
Let them know what those 2 are.
Sure. Okay, you can visit me on the web. Signal Noise Studio is the name of my website and where I do all my work. Signalnoise.com. You can swing by there. Follow me on Twitter at Signal Noise. Really easy. My Instagram name, where I put up a lot of work, I changed it up for this one. My Instagram handle is Signal Noise. And you can find me on Facebook at facebook.com/Signal Noise.
I wasn't ready for that one. I thought you might have actually changed it up for the last one there. That would have been great.
You can find me at Clown Face Media.
Yeah, exactly. Or, you know, facebook.com/JustDoItJokes. It's been a great follow-up to all of that. Ladies and gentlemen, James White, you are an awesome man, sir. Thank you very much for stopping by and taking the time to talk with us. Keep making awesome 80s stuff. And then someday when I'm making millions of dollars, I'm going to just coat my house in your memorabilia, just like my entire wall.
Done.
Will be dinosaurs with lasers.
I'll leave my phone open that day.
Fantastic. All right, guys, see you soon. That's going to be it from us here at the Game Code. A big thank you, of course, to our interviewees, Mr. Joel Duggan and Mr. James White. Don't you dare forget about your opportunity to win that absolutely fantastic Hylian shield so that you too can go to the next con looking like the man or woman you've always wanted to be. Until next time, I'm your host, Adam Morehouse. Have a good week, guys.